I'm gonna change the Twitch to TwixT, right?
Oh yeah, if you wouldn't mind. All right, everybody ready?
I think so.
All right. Travis, we're on IG Game Center. We have one set up if you want to join that so you can watch. You can watch through the Twitch website. Either way, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for a special MangoTown Plaza board game edition. We have Peyrol here. Peyrol, I'll let you introduce yourself and tell a little bit about TwixT, because as far as I'm aware, I think the first time I ever came across TwixT was when we streamed it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I first found out about TwixT in 1967, and I've been hooked on it ever since. More so since the internet came around. I reckon I've played about 2,000 or 3,000 games.
Awesome. So, what is it about TwixT that you're particularly drawn to?
I don't know. There's a feeling of power you get from entering a world that you learn to see.
Very cool.
I'm just totally hardcore into it. I don't know why.
Well, that's great. I'm glad that amongst the many other things that we all have going on in life, that you were able to find a game that really speaks to you. I think there's so many games out there that we could play that sometimes it's special to find one that comes along. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're playing on an, I believe, 18 by 18. It does say 1 through 12, so it may be... Yeah, so it's 12 by 18.
Yeah. I've set it up to give you a handicap and watch you crush me.
We'll see. We'll see. Game 1, and maybe we can lower the handicap as we go. I think, Travis, do you remember how many games of TwixT we played?
Probably close to 4. I don't know. Not many.
Yeah, not too many. So, I know. Let's see. I'm white. Now, Peyrol, have you played any of the... Have you played any of the sort of mild... I don't know why it's not...
Peyrol needs to push start.
Ah,
and
okay.
you can probably change the rules to, like, it's 1 hour plus 1 minute per turn.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
You can change it to whatever you want.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. Travis and I have that problem all the time. All right. So let's see. I think I have that.
Sure.
Well, no. Here's. See, we set it up for a 6-row handicap, but I think that I may have just accidentally, completely forgotten to.
Oh, you're still winning.
One step ahead.
Did you get the move that?
Yeah. Peyrol, are you familiar with Conehex or any of the other games that are almost similar to TwixT in some sense, but work in some different elements?
Yeah, I love Conhex. I also love Hex. There are lots of other connection type games. There's a game called Tracks that's really cool.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll have to check some of those out in the future. Maybe we'll do a whole month dedicated to TwixT and its variants. Now,
Probably played.
have you ever played with a physical board?
Yeah, sure. Unfortunately, I can't seem to find very many opponents face to face. I have played face to face tournaments in London
Wow,
and Manchester and Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
awesome. And how do you like the feel of the game when it's I guess manual versus I guess analog versus digital?
Oh, it's definitely really good that way. I would like to see a flatter set.
Uh,
Sometimes when I mean 3D pieces look cool, but TwixT is essentially a two-dimensional game.
yeah,
So with it's easier to see what's going on.
yeah, that makes sense.
But I really enjoy it that way. Okay, you're not gonna like this.
Oh, nice.
You might still be winning though.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I gotta think. Is it possible ever to get more than just like just a minute ago when you played L5, you were able to connect J6 and N7? Like, is it possible to make even more connections than that in a single move?
The most I've ever seen is 4 in a single move.
Oh,
Theoretically, you think that that's never happened in a real game.
yeah. Wow, I'm amazed that even 4 happened in a single move.
That was a dense position.
Yeah, I believe it.
He's got you on the skate. Sure.
Yeah, I think he does. But it's good, warming up a little bit. I mean, one thing that I've noticed, even in the first couple of moves of this round, is that I need to start thinking more about wider connections. But I forget, I mean, Travis, I think even when you and I played, there were times where the moves. I think there were a couple times where we had lined them up kind of across the board, and then in 2 or 3 shots, you were able to get all the way across. So I'll definitely.
Yeah, see how he put them on D7 to H7?
Yeah.
You can't block that because no matter what,
Yeah.
he can go one of 2 ways.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not 2 ways. But,
Okay, let's see then.
oh man, you.
I could I could lecture about it if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anything. It's always a good idea, I think, to gain a deeper understanding. I mean, I think regardless of whether I go left or right, you're going to make that connection. So let's see if maybe there's something that I can do to upset the balance a little bit.
It's more important to block me than to link yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I wanted to say.
It's definitely a good suggestion. I mean, I think that's probably the most succinct way to say that in the course of what's going on currently.
That was a good try. It was a good try. It was a reasonable try.
Now here's a question. Do you think that TwixT could ever work in a more than two-person style setting?
Well, there are rules for 4 players that come with the 3M edition. Basically, it's 2 teams, like in bridge, partners sit opposite each other.
Cool.
And there's a special rule called privilege, where basically one of your team members calls privilege, and then the other team loses a move for that round. So, usually you save that up until the end of the game. So it's, I don't think I've ever played it, so I don't really know too much about it.
I might have to see if I can get my hands on or make a version of that. My family, I mean, like my grandparents, my cousins, we all always, we play a lot of games. My grandparents play a lot of cards with us, but tabletop games are always a good choice too. I think it would be a little hard, since playing over the board does make it significantly easier. But at the same time,
Okay, you're kind of sneaky.
trying. Yeah, unfortunately, I think almost regardless of what I do, there are enough open options.
Yeah, I got 2 ways to double link there.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you've played a large variety of, I mean, not even a large variety per se, but a very large number of games. What do you have a preference between the 18 by 18 or the 24 by 24?
Well, I'm a hardcore traditionalist, and I like 24 by 24. But 18 by 18 is fine. There's a game on Wikipedia that I played on 18 by 18. It's in the talk section.
Oh.
I'm just going to stand up here.
Okay.
Because the handicap receiver always plays white. And if you could bump it up to 8 rows if you want.
Okay, yeah, let's do one more 18 by 18 and we'll bump that up to 8 rows. I'll stand up and take white again. And we'll do one more, and then Travis, if you want, you can jump in and give him a run for his money.
You really ought to crush me this. It was that first move.
Aha. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
Somewhere near the middle.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea. Midway between your own border road.
Yeah, absolutely. I think all you need to do is sit down at black, and we'll go ahead and get started.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, no worries.
Did it again.
All right.
This is just so
You would be surprised. Travis and I think one thing I've noticed about playing both a wide variety of board games and we also stream a lot of chess is there are so many times where I've made moves. Even when sometimes I think you can pay even too much attention, and when that ends up being the case, it doesn't.
Remember, you gotta block. It's more important to block than to connect your clicks.
Yes.
you remember. Yeah. Why didn't I say 7 right? Very good.
See how much blocking I can get in before I have to spend a lot of time defending with blocks.
Now I move here and I say, oh, look on the right.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, you could still get on the right too if you want.
Yeah, that's true.
Can black go beneath the white line?
I don't believe it can.
No, you're forbidden to play the opposing border road.
So couldn't you go at D9? Actually, it seems like it'd be fine.
Wow. Would you look at that?
Oh, hey, you're getting help. Hey, yeah.
I will say, there are sometimes when we stream on Twitch, there are people who will suggest moves in like the Twitch talk area. And I mean, like, it doesn't bother me if they do that, but I definitely would prefer to just to play it, have it be a little more natural and fluid as a game.
Well, the way I see it is that too many cooks spoil the broth. And usually taking suggestions from the peanut gallery doesn't usually help.
Very true.
My apologies.
Oh, no worries, Travis. I'd already placed it and hit finish move by the time you had suggested D9. Do you know if there are any variant rules for TwixT?
Well, yeah. The most popular server is a turn-based server, and they play what's called TwixT PP, which is almost the same thing, except you don't remove links, and your own links are allowed to cross each other.
Ah, interesting. All right, Travis, you want to hop in on an 18 by 18? Sorry for interrupting, Peyrol.
Okay. Yeah, you keep going.
All right, cool.
If you don't mind.
I went ahead and changed it to 7 rows. If you want, I can change it back down to 6.
No, let's try 7.
All right.
This gives me a few more molecules of oxygen this way.
Absolutely.
But I think you're learning and you'll probably crush it.
Yeah, actually, one thing I think from that first game that I think would make for a really interesting variant would be if, and there may be some of the other versions like Hex or Conhex may also have some variants where this is the case. It'd be really interesting to see a variant that where you both had to start behind your border.
Well, in tracks, there are no borders per se.
Aha.
Because there is no board, it's just tiles.
Oh, okay.
should have played there on your loop.
Yeah, that probably would have been smarter. Man, I can't believe we're already almost halfway through June. Goes quick. Ah, yeah, I guess there were no two ways around that one. But that's good. It's good that there was a. Obviously, there are lots of options to create, I guess for lack of a better term, forks or double connections that can be used.
I'm not sure. Do you want me to talk about your moves while we're playing?
Sure, yeah, that would be great. Helps me improve.
Okay. You're still winning on the right, but what you should have done instead of G4
Uh-huh.
was to play at E5. Because that would protect you from what I'm about to do.
Ah. That's true.
But you're still winning on the right side.
Nice. Hmm.
Yeah, real good move.
Thank you. When they play at tournaments and stuff, do they? I'm assuming they probably play timed matches.
Yeah, we usually play around half an hour for most people, and maybe a 30-second delay per move. That's how we did it at in Pennsylvania. Over in the UK, though, they had a faster time limit, which I didn't like very much.
Ah, yeah.
you have the show diagonals checkbox?
I don't, but that might be a good thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It helps you see how the battle's going to go sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
A ladder. You're going to win the battle of the night.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hey Travis, can you check and see if the live stream is still working? I think it is. I think my lag was just pretty hefty for a minute or two. Okay, great.
I'm just doing this to show the world how it goes. I've got a higher purpose. Very good.
Now, when you have been at these competitions, or when you've played this maybe more private games against individuals, well, have there been any games that really stood out to you as just like kind of like top tier, top 3?
Oh, absolutely. There's some really awesome games. There's a guy in Poland who usually crushes it. And some of the games that he plays, I'm still trying to figure out.
Oh wow.
In fact, we're playing a game online, a turn-based game right now. So I got like 10 days to make each move.
Oh wow, that's great. Okay, I say let's try 24 by 24.
As you wish.
What do you think? What do you think we should do in terms of handicap for that?
10 rows.
All right.
Yes, sir. Oops.
Oh. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you all heard that. That was the cannon here in Sarajevo, where I'm currently living. It's time for the evening meal.
Sarajevo, Yugoslavia?
Yes, if we were in the pre-dissolution era, it is technically Bosnia and Herzegovina now, but it was part of Yugoslavia.
Stuck in my old mindset.
Oh, it's not that old. There are a lot of people here who remember the days of Yugoslavia very well. And one thing that really amazes me was Tito and how much it seemed that everybody in the whole world liked him. I mean, I think they gave him like I'm sure it was more honorary than actual, but like the key to LA at one point. I think he had like a couple of not hotels, but like apartments in New York City. Lots of interesting.
Oh, okay. Those days are gone.
Yeah, no kidding.
People like that probably wouldn't be so much like them.
Yeah. So when you're looking at a TwixT board at the very beginning, how many moves ahead are you usually thinking?
It's more like some recognizing patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are moves that suggest themselves because I've seen how that plays out many times before. so I hardly have to think about it at all. They just pop up on the screen like a blinking neon light.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess 4 or 5. I try to find a move that what I'm trying to do here, not so much finding a winning move, but a confusing.
Yeah, that's similar in chess, where there's obviously narrowed down moves because you have to either protect something or guard whatever, and you can think about trades or so 5 moves or so ahead, but generally it's just a move that makes sense because of what's there.
Right, you got to be present. Ken Roses. Try Ken Rose. Yeah, you're definitely a lot stronger than you were in that first game I saw you play on YouTube.
Yeah, no kidding.
On YouTube, I remember this right after we finished the video, but I pretty much, on all the videos on YouTube, I'm pretty sure we started behind our line and not in the middle.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I don't remember why. I don't know if it was that I had read somewhere that was the.
But I remember on the last game I didn't. But I didn't start in the middle. We kind of started 1 or 2 ranks above where I would start.
Yeah.
Well, the object is to connect from one border road to the other, so it's kind of a natural assumption to think that's how you should start.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, that was a nice move. Yo.
Right.
We played Master Y, I believe.
Uh-huh.
It was somewhat like, but I think it was a little bit more unfair.
You can play a different kind of board for Y on a turn-based server called Garayan.
Ah.
They have this really cool-looking board that sort of deformed triangle. Let's look up the Kadon center.
And I know there's some ones on Go boards with Go stones that are connected to opposite sides.
Yeah, there are a couple of them. One of them is called Crossway.
Yeah. I think, well, one's chain lightning, but that's a little bit different, I believe.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, Mike and I played Go Next before.
Now, in a situation where because obviously right now you have a pretty good, you have lots of opportunities at different points. In the situation where I just was, do you think it would be better to create more opportunities in other places on the board, or to try to head off some of the things that could possibly happen?
Well, for example, you've got a lot of room on the right still.
Mm.
You've got the whole board available to you, so why not use it?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, that's usually how people play the opening. You spread your pegs around and try to make as many threats as you can. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, maybe I should just keep my mouth shut.
Did you run into the same problem I did with I-10? Yeah. Oh, nice.
You're still winning.
Yeah, the diagonals. Yeah, mentioned that last game.
Yeah, I think the advice you gave me in the first game is probably a real game changer for anybody who's just starting out. I think the way you start to think about the game once you realize the potential for blocking is great.
Yeah, it's all about blocking. This is an in-your-face game. And you're still winning.
The handy.
He's got the move.
What'd you say?
He's got a move that'll block you.
Ooh, I bet he does.
But you're still winning.
For me, I think when I play Go and chess a lot, I think a lot about, I guess, like a wasted move or a free move.
Yeah.
So, like, when I see that, like, there's investment put into that move for you, Matt, like, it seems like a wasted move because you put an investment in it and it's not going to pay off.
That's true.
So, like, I try to look at a lot of moves like that in chess and go to, like, yeah, I need to make sure every single one of my dots or stones or whatever is, doing something that will pay off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if not, then it's almost the same as giving the other player a free move.
That's a good point.
You still have a win here, but it's what you call non-intuitive. So I'm making two different threats, and you have to find a move that covers both of them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
This is an example of how those diagonal guidelines can be very helpful to help you read the position.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Let's see. Alright, so I'm going to walk through the process. So I could connect R8 and O11. I could also connect P4 and R8. Now, regardless of which one of those I do, you're probably going to slip through on the diagonals. I could play further out on TUV, T through X, in hopes of creating a multi-link later on. I'd say that's a little bit risky, though.
Well, I've got direct threat to play S7 and also S9.
Yes.
So try to find a single move that blocks both of those threats. Puzzle is what you call 5-plot.
Did you say 5-ply or 5-plot?
5-P-L-Y, meaning you make a move, I make a move, you make a move, I make a move, and then you have a win.
Nice. I would say that the toilet paper in Travis's house is also 5-ply. I don't know what your mom buys, Travis, but I'll tell you what.
It's a geeky and a chess nerd view.
Ah.
I'm not exactly sure, but my only advice would be to which diagonal is more threatening and block that one. But
Yeah.
I can't see the move that would block both the S9 and 7. But
Now it might be. I may.
Well, I'll tell you after you move. It's like, now I lose. I'm still hoping to win.
Let's see. Let's see if that's the right answer. I think. Now we have that second diagonal coming from W1 down to about S10, and I'm pretty sure that even if you go to S7 right now, I should be able to get up quick enough. We will find out.
That's the right idea, but you went the wrong way.
Aha.
You should have played it. Because that puts you on the diagonal to block on the bottom.
Yeah.
This move, now I go S7 and you're not on the diagonal to block on the top.
True.
So if you had done the mirror image of that, say T7, then you could have followed it up with U9 and you would be winning.
Aha. Cool. Yeah, we're gonna run into similarly to what we ran into last game, I think, or 2 games ago, where I kind of blocked you out in that corner.
Yeah, except this time, yeah, it's the same. It's the exact same kind of chain. I really appreciate this opportunity to show off in front of an audience.
Oh yeah. It's always a good idea. And that's part of the fun too, certainly.
Yeah.
Is there a site in particular that you prefer to play TwixT on?
Server?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is probably the best real-time server. There's a cool 3D board over at boardspace.net.
Uh-huh.
That's really nice. And there's a server called TwixtLive.com, but I don't play there very much because they don't have the swap rule.
Uh-huh. Ooh.
Let's see. There's also Vassal.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not hardly anybody ever plays there. I don't think I've ever played a real-time game of TwixT on Vassal.
Oh wow.
I gotta head on out.
All right.
You guys enjoy.
Bye, Matt. Bye, Travis. Sorry.
Have fun.
Oh, we sure will. Bye, Travis. Ooh, you got me good.
Right. If there were a hole at X1, then you could beat me, but there's no such hole.
That's true. But I got shut out less quickly than I planned
Yes,
on, which
you're
is always
definitely
a plus.
making vast improvements. Okay. Theoretically, I could torture you here, but I don't want to. I remember you were asking why doesn't the server just automatically recognize a win here for black?
Yeah, yeah.
And well, the answer has to do with simplicity of the rules.
Uh-huh.
If you specifically said in the rules that a position like this is also winning, it's sort of an unnecessary complication.
Yeah.
The nice thing about games like this is that you start with a simple rule set and you get all this complexity that emerges from it. So the fact that this position is winning for black is an emerging thing, and you don't have to say it in the rules. So as a result, have to suffer through an additional couple of moves. In my opinion, it's worth it.
Absolutely. Definitely one of the preferable forms of suffering. All right, well, Peyrol, I think I'm going to call it a night. Thanks so much for streaming with me, and I'll definitely let you know in the future if we play TwixT, because it would be great to play some more. We usually stream right around this time on Wednesdays, and so 2 in the afternoon. Your time is generally good for both Travis and I.
Yeah, I think so. Also, I enjoy playing other games like Hex. I've probably played at least 3,000 Hex games too.
Wow, excellent. Yeah, I think next month. Now I usually do it month by month when I set up the games. So probably for the month of July, or maybe even August. I think what I'll do is I'll choose TwixT and other variants, or games that run in a similar fashion. So I think that'd be a fun thing to do. I'll definitely coordinate with you before we set that up.
Well, that's just fantastic there, man. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I hope you have an excellent rest of your day.
Thanks. Have fun. Bye.
See ya.